Maxwell will be giving us the latest. We know that the Accra Metropolitan Assembly, they embarked on an exercise of making sure that they evicted hawkers of the streets. And Maxwell Agbagba is at Tudu, the Central Business District area, and is giving us the latest. Maxwell, you can hear me now, I believe.
Yes, I can hear you now, Roland.
And what was the latest following that eviction exercise that was started by the AMA? What has been some of the response? What are your cameras also capturing?
Yes, Roland, as you rightly mentioned, we currently here at Tudu, but before we got to Tudu, we've been going around the capital to actually and the directive for them not to sell, on the pavement, especially also because we were getting reports that the hawkers were coming back onto the pavement. Now, from our office from Kukumle, we went through Circle. Well, for Circle, very close to the Vodafone office, after the first day of the decongestion exercise, all the hawkers actually moved from the pavement. But what we witnessed today was that some of them were actually coming back very early in the morning. We could see some of them coming back with their chairs and then table, trying to set up for the day's business. There we did not see any member of the AMA task force, present on the ground. So the hawkers were virtually having a field day on the pavement, just around the terminal also. We saw some of them getting ready to start the day's activity. That's around the Circle area. But if you come here to Tudu, well, we are seeing great improvement of the decongestion exercise, because even on the first day after the exercise, when we came here, we didn't see massive improvement like what we had seen today. About 20 personnel of the AMA task force have been deployed here, and they are making sure that the traders do not get back to the pavement. I mean, in previous times, when you come here around this time, the hawkers were virtually having a field day selling on the pavement into the Central Business District itself. But today, I wanted to just have a view of what is happening on the stretch here. Virtually empty. You don't have people, selling in the middle of the street. They are not present also on the pavement, all of them behind the pavement. And the personnel, the task force here, are making sure that they do not move beyond the red line. Another interesting thing that we've seen here also is the task force trying to prevent people from jaywalking. So if you're walking in the middle of the street, you get the task force members walking up to you and telling you to get away from the streets. So if you're walking in the middle of the streets, that is not possible any longer. In fact, we witnessed an altercation between a pedestrian and then one of the task force members, because he was walking directly in the middle of the streets. The task force member told him to move away. He says no, he feels free walking in the middle of the street. In fact, they had to move him onto the pavement to use the pavement. So that's the interesting thing happening here. A lot of motorists we've been speaking to are excited about the situation. They say they can now access the Central Business District without any difficulty, because in previous times on this stretch, especially heading to the Central Business District, Roland, it's as difficult for how a camel will go through the eye of a needle, Roland.
Maxwell Agbagba, you've been reading a lot of the Bible. That's great. But at the end of the period, we know that the AMA has a certain timeline. Do you think by what you're seeing,
exactly,
they will be able to keep up with the pace by which the hawkers intend evading the area when the AMA ultimately leave with their task force?
Well, Roland, for the AMA to be able to sustain this, they would have to increase their visibility in places where they have decongested, because for a place like the tiptoe lane, for instance, the AMA task force were not there. So you have some of the hawkers actually coming back and then still selling on the pavement, because the task force were not present at that place. For the area also around the Vodafone head office, we saw the traders coming back onto the pavement. So for them to be able to sustain this, they would have to increase their visibility in the areas that usually have hawkers selling on the pavement, as we've witnessed here. So it is the case that when you have the task force present at a particular location, the hawkers would, respect the directive. But for places where the task force, is not present, then you have them coming back, onto the streets to actually come in. So it's a situation of, the mice playing whilst the cat is away. So they would have to they would have to increase their visibility to be able to sustain this exercise from what we've witnessed, going around monitoring the decongestion exercise, Roland.
Well, we wish you all the best. We know that at least now the streets are okay, so you can just meander your way through the alleys of the Central Business District, so we'll make it easier for you. Thank you, Maxwell Agbagba. Good work you've been doing for us, roving for us each day, each morning on the AM show. And as always, you can get many of those uploads on YouTube, because we have a channel on YouTube. My Joy Online TV is the name of a channel on YouTube. Please go look out for that channel on YouTube, and you see a lot more of our uploads, the segments and the various areas and the reports that we tend to do on this channel.